What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Subnautica. So, today we are checking out quite a few stuff, and the first thing, let's start off with the Lost River. They've added some fauna. They have the School of Spinefish, I believe they're called, and then they have the, what used to be called the spine eel is now the river roamer, but I don't know if it's complete yet, but they are now here. They have added some textures to the bones, some moss, and a bunch of plants. And as you can hear, there's new music or sound, which is pretty interesting. There's also these plants, but the main reason we're here is because of these new bones. So on the Sketchfab for Subnautica, they have new Reaper bones. They have a skull and the whole concept of an entire Reaper in the ground. And the assumption right now is that this is where it will go. Like, this is just a placeholder. Hopefully. It's looking really cool. It's pretty interesting to see all the different type of bones that are going to be in this biome. They've been really working on it quite a bit. And I've also heard a rumor on Reddit that apparently the next update is coming out the 25th. If I'm not incorrect, I believe that is the next Tuesday, I believe it is. And then they've also added this huge waterfall up here with a bunch of trees up there for the ghost tree. Now, there is a sea dragon skull that was also on the Sketchfab and a skeleton. The skeleton isn't on there anymore that I have been able to find, so I don't know if that will be in, but my assumption or my guess of where the skull will be is right here on this flat platform, because there's nothing else here. And the reason why I think that is because the sea dragon escaped the Lost River facility right here. Now, of all the information I've seen and everything on these bones, all I've seen is pretty much the announcement of the bones, and that's it. So my first thought about these bones is, why are they in the Lost River? Now, clearly we know that the big bones up here were here even before the precursors. For the precursor base, pretty much the info that I'm aware of and what we have on it is it's the secondary bioresearch facility, and it was built around 1,000 years ago, sometime before the imprisonment of the Sea Emperor in the primary research facility, which is the one in the lava zone. And at the Lost River precursor base, the creatures were infected with the Carrar bacterium. Surviving specimens were then sent to the primary research facility for further testing in order to synthesize an antidote for the Carrar. The reason why it's damaged is because it was attacked by an escaped sea dragon leviathan, an event that also unleashed the Carrar bacterium into the native ecosystem and prompted the precursors to initiate their planetary quarantine by activating the precursor gun. The facility was initially set up to study the skeleton in the bones field. So that's this skeleton right here. It's said to be a sea dragon leviathan, or it's said to be a sea dragon leviathan of sorts or close genetic cousin of it. From what I've heard, people are calling it the Titan Leviathan. That leads me to believe that since they had the facility here, this was the primary research. You know, that's what it says. However, they don't mention any other bones. So is there going to be a Reaper skeleton here and a Sea Dragon skull because of the facility being damaged? And then since the Karar was released, they died in this biome? And is that why the brine is now acidic? Does it have to do with the Karar being released? Because if you didn't know, if we come in here and I go into freedom, we now get hurt. So the brine is now acidic. Now, I don't think the brine itself has to relate to the Karar, but it is a different planet, and maybe it doesn't follow the rules of our planet, so I don't know. That might be a thing. It might not be a thing. However, if we go to the cove tree down here, and we take a splash in the brine that's blue, we don't get hurt. So I feel like there's a connection with the tree there, and maybe it has to do something with the Karar, and that's why, you know, because the Karar is green, the precursors made it. Green is the precursor's theme. This brine might be tainted by the Karar. Who knows? Maybe. But that's pretty much everything that I am aware of for the skeletons, just that they're going to be in here. But as soon as I saw them, my initial thought was, why are they in the Lost River? Because we have never seen a sea dragon in the Lost River. We've only seen them in the lava biome. And same with the Reaper Leviathan. We've only seen them up, you know, by the surface more. We've never seen them any lower. So why are they here? Why are they together? That's my thought, at least. So if I go in freedom, I'm not getting hurt. Pretty simple, but pretty cool also. So they did add the loot for the Lost River as well. There's uranium, there's aluminum oxide, titanium, and quartz, I believe. I think that's all of them. So that is it for the bones. We have some more things to check out, so I will see you guys there. Alright guys, so our next thing to check out is the Reefback. As you can see, they aren't bugged anymore and they aren't spinning in circles. And there are actually normal sized ones. So if you haven't seen the size comparison, that's a big ass one and this is a small one. This is what they originally were, and that is what they are now. However, according to Trello, and what's really cool, like I'm super pumped for this, is they're going to add spawning seeds for these guys in a bunch of different biomes, and depending on what biome it is, they will spawn in different sizes. So it won't just be this big or that big. They'll actually spawn in different sizes, which will be really cool. And as you can see, there are plants as they are trying to shoot me already on here. And there are the brain fungus, I believe they're called. No, brain coral with the oxygen. And you can harvest all the plants off of it. So if I were to take my knife and I was not in creative, I could then harvest that. So that is it. I do know, yeah, see, they've added spawn points for some of the fish to swim around like they said they were going to. You cannot build a base on them, unfortunately, though. So the Reefback is getting a lot of new stuff, and it looks like they are like hammering it out because, like I said earlier in the video, from what I've heard, the next update is supposed to come out this Tuesday. And with the way everything's been coming out so quickly, I wouldn't be surprised. So we have one more thing to check out. So I will see you guys at the base. Alright guys, so our last thing to check out today is, if we go into personal and tools, we can now make the transfuser. So that's pretty cool. As far as I am aware, it is not functional. However, it does have like the glowy thing, you can see it. But you can't actually like get anything out of a specimen, and you can't inject anything. And I think that's because right before they shut off the entity gallery, I looked at it, and in one of my videos we saw the specimen analyzer. I think you would have to take it from there and then go to the specimen analyzer, analyze it, and then you would have to like inject it into yourself or then be able to use it. So the fact that it's, you know, not functional right now kind of sucks, but the fact that it's actually in the game is pretty huge, at least to me. Like, I've always wanted this thing in the game, and I don't see how they would do the Carrar like vaccine or getting the specimen from the Sea Emperor babies any other way. So I feel like it was a must, but so it's pretty cool to see that it is in the game. Alright guys, so that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any information or any theories about the Lost River and why these skulls are there and bones, please let me know. I do know that the Titan Leviathan was there before the precursors even existed, or maybe not existed, but were there. But the whole Reaper and Sea Dragon being in the same location kind of just throws a wrench in it for me, at least me personally. Maybe they were there, maybe there's nothing to it, but just to see that those two are together when we know that at least currently in game they have been nowhere near each other, is just pretty interesting. It's an odd coincidence. So if you have any info or any theories, please let me know and leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button, and if you want to see future Subnautica videos, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe so that way you can see that. And as always guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Like, it's even more massive than what it was. It's just absolutely crazy to think about. But I guess there will be spawn points for the aquatic life around the Reefback, so they will like continuously you know, swim around the Reefback, and it's pretty interesting because if you could find a